before I can bring you to this place where I'll begin to explain to you why I quit, I want to give you a bit of a background. I'm coming from a filthy place. I'm coming from a place of dirt. I'm coming from a very dirty place. I'm coming from a stinking place, a place that is stinking with sin. I'm coming from a place that is not only stinking with sin, but I'm coming from a place that is filled with wickedness. I'm coming from a place that many of you have never been, although I was still associated with the likes of your Lukau. When I was convicted by God, I was still associated with Lukau. I tried to talk to him about it. I tried to say, look, this is what has happened to me. I remember preaching against abuse in the church, preaching against sexual abuse in the church, preaching against merchandising of the gospel. I remember very well the attacks that I received. Not from people who were far, but from those who were around me. All the pastors who were around me, I remember very well the kind of attacks that they leveled against me. And they called me rebellious because they thought I was preaching against the church. I was put at a point where I had to choose between the two: following the man or following my conviction with God. Following Lukau or following my conviction with God. It was at that point that I had to make a decision. That is, either I keep on following this man and I continue in this environment of filth, in this environment of wickedness. I continue in this environment of merchandising of the gospel. I decided at that point, it was my decision, because it was coming from a place of conviction. I decided that I will not follow the man, but I will follow God. I will follow Christ. I'm not a coward. When I walked into this battlefield, when I walked into this journey, I knew exactly what I was going to encounter along the way. I knew exactly what I was going to come across along the way. I don't quit being a child of God. I don't quit preaching the message of Christ. I don't quit following Jesus. I don't quit the Back to Christ movement. The fact that I make mistakes does not mean that I'm going to stop liberating you, because I know that you are blind. I've seen things that you have never seen with your eyes. I've been involved in things that you have never ever fathomed in your mind. I have seen stuff. And when I begin to talk about it, I'm not talking about it because I want you to clap for me. And from today, don't defend me. If you hear anything about me, don't defend me. Only God who called me for this assignment, only God who called me for this mission shall be my defense. Only God who called me for this assignment shall vindicate me. Today I'm sitting here with so many allegations leveled against me. And many people are waiting to hear, what is it that J. Israel has to say about this? All I can say is God shall vindicate me. God in heaven shall vindicate me. And the truth shall come to light. As I'm sitting here right now, as you're talking, as you're seeing me, as you're seeing my face, I want to let you know that I quit. Christianity is a religion. It is just as good as Buddhism, Muslim. That is Christianity. If you follow me well, you will remember there was a day that I told you that we were called Christians in Antioch. We were called Christians first by non-believers, by pagans. Those are the people who called us Christians. We were not called Christians by God. We were not called Christians by Jesus, but we were called Christians by non-believers. I quit religion. I quit religion. I quit playing Christianity. I quit playing Christianity and I quit religion. Religion is the one that sets standards that not even the one who are setting the standards are able to keep them. Weaknesses are things that come because you are human. Weaknesses are things that come because you are human. And weaknesses, they lead to mistakes. They don't lead to wickedness. If you've got a weakness, it leads you to a place called a mistake, not wickedness. And the day that I decided that from today I turn away from wickedness, it did not make me immune of weaknesses and mistakes. I still make mistakes. Even today, I still make mistakes. Even tomorrow, I'm going to make mistakes. I want to put it on record tonight that as I'm sitting here, I'm still very human. I'm still going to make mistakes. But what do I need? Because of the place I'm coming from, because of where I'm coming from, I'm wounded. I am wounded by the past, and the past is haunting me day in and day out. I'm at war. This is a warfare that I'm in. And I want you to understand that we are in this warfare together. If you've been part of the charlatans, if you've been part and parcel of falsehood and everything, you are wounded. You are a wounded soldier. Even as you are watching me right now, you are human. And you still make mistakes. And you are still making mistakes even up to now, but you are not your mistakes. Your mistakes don't define you. Your mistakes don't define who you are. If you see that I'm doing wrong, call me. Sit down with me. I am a brother. I'm not an enemy. If you see that, J. Israel, the road you are taking is not the right road, sit down with me. I'm open to rebuke. I'm open to correction. Along this journey, there are things that I've learned. And I've learned only to trust God and not to trust anybody. I've learned only to trust Jesus and not to trust any man. Tonight, I want to let you know that I quit. Religion is not a part of me. And that is one of the biggest enemy that we are going to have to fight. Religion. We have got so many religious folks in the church. It reminds me when Jesus, the Bible says, a woman was caught in the act, and the woman was presented to Jesus. And as they presented the woman to Jesus, they said, we caught her in the act of adultery. And Jesus looked around, and he kept quiet. And he said, let anyone who has no sin be the first to cast a stone. Nobody was able to cast a stone. Because nobody is perfect. Mr. Perfect. Nobody is perfect. No matter how much you can lie to yourself that you are perfect, nobody is perfect. We are all working towards that place of perfection. Yesterday, I received so many calls from different people. I received different messages from the likes of Sheila, who's in Australia, Noma, who's here in South Africa, different brothers across the world. And they were saying to me, we hear that you are in debt. We hear that you are owing so much. And I said, it's true. I'm in debt. I'm in debt not because I want to be in debt. I'm in debt because everyone, even you who's watching me now, you are in debt. I'm not ashamed of being in debt. Some were saying, we hear that you are owing your staff. I said, I am owing my staff. It is true. It is true. But before we can talk about that, before we can get to that part, show me one person who's not owing anything. I own my truth. I'm not a coward. I don't run away from my truth. What is the truth is the truth. And nobody can do anything about it. And I want you to know this tonight, that as I'm sitting right here where I'm sitting now, I am not chickening out. I am not jumping out. The train continues to move, and the train continues to go forward. We shall continue to move back to Christ. We shall continue to move back to Christ. I don't attack people's personalities. I don't attack people's weaknesses. It breaks my heart when I see brothers who are supposed to be standing with each other, rising against each other, only because of views on YouTube, only because of relevance on social media. It's a pity. It's a pity. I know there are so many different versions of things that have been put out there, but for your own information, when I was sitting here, I spoke to one of the brothers. I was surprised that on this platform, I raised close to 20,000 US dollars. I was shocked. I went into my PayPal account, I opened it. And when I opened my PayPal account, I was looking for the $20,000. I couldn't find it. I can boldly tell you, with proof and everything, there's a woman called Mami, I think she's in the US. She sent 1,000 US dollars, and she knows that that 1,000 US dollars is still stuck in the PayPal account because our PayPal is not able to withdraw anything. I'm not here to justify myself. I'm here to come clean to everybody. She knows I spoke to her. I even asked her if it's possible, reverse that amount and use other means to resend it again. As we speak, it's still stuck. If I am to open my PayPal account right now, if I'm to open my PayPal account has got 2,100 US dollars. In US dollars, that's the amount of money that was raised on this platform. God is my witness. If I was allowed to swear, I was going to swear on my mom, but I'm not allowed to swear. I will not do it. 2,100 US dollars. That is the amount of money that is still stuck in the PayPal account. I've not withdrawn it. I've not taken it out. That's the amount that was given when I was sitting on this platform. I have my other PayPal that I have. That is my business PayPal account. And that is my business. It has got nothing to do with ministry. It has got nothing to do with anybody. It is also blocked. I cannot access those funds. To my account, my FNB South African account, there's a woman. I'm not even sure if I should mention her name because she's in South Africa, but she's based here in South Africa in Midrand. She reached out with an amount of 20,000 rands. And there are others who reached out with, and may God bless her heart. She reached out with an amount of 20,000 rands. God is my witness. I was shocked. And I have other people who reached out with 1,000, 500, 200 rand, 2,000 rand, and so on and so forth. All that money put together does not even amount to more than 60,000 rands. So now tell me, when you hear that 300,000 rands was given to J. Israel because he lied, that his PA system, his instruments were stolen. I'm not going to say anything about that because myself and my family, we have dealt with that matter and we have set it aside. Hear me and hear me well. If you love me, just as you have shown me in the past, you pray for me. If you love me and you see that I am making a mistake, you will reach out with love because I'm not an enemy. The real enemy is out there, the charlatans. The real deception is out there. The real manipulation is out there. And nobody, absolutely nobody, I will not allow anyone to come and bring confusion and bring doubt to the children of God who've been set free from the bondage of charlatans. I will not. If not, I give you the go-ahead. Go ahead and expose to the world if you find it fit to do so. But be careful not to think you are exposing wickedness, yet you are exposing weakness. That shows the kind of person you are. Jesus said, if you have never sinned, cast the first stone. And nobody was able to do that. And I want to challenge everybody tonight. If you have never sinned, be the first one to cast a stone against me.